What's going on, guys? I hope y'all are having a great day. As you can tell by the title, both the silver Sport 2nd Gen and the black P-Pump 24 valve have sold. So thank you to everybody who's interested in the trucks. I figured they would go really quick, especially at the price I was asking for them. And the black P-Pump truck, it will be going to Texas, and the silver Sport will be going to California. I'm not going to give the cities out for just the sake of the privacy of the new owners. But this truck will be shipped by U-Ship probably next week is what the buyer says. That I guess that may be the earliest appointment he can get. He did choose to go with the rear bumper and not the roll pan. He wants the rear bumper on there, so as he wishes, I am going to put that rear bumper on there. That roll pan, I guess, will be for sale. It's silver. We'll talk about that another time. And also those rims and tires. Those are 33 by 16s on stock 2nd gen wheels. And they have the lug nuts and hubcaps, all that. If you're interested in those wheels and tires, we'll talk about those. Well, might as well talk about them right now. But this video, we're gonna finish talking about these. But this video is gonna be about the 1st gen. So if you're here to learn about the 1st gen, she will be pulled in the garage here momentarily. And we will be talking about the 1st gen. The weather has not cooperated with us today, but it's starting to lighten up. So we are going to pull the 1st gen in the garage, talk about her for a little bit, tell you what's wrong with it, because there are a couple things that need to be fixed. But it's a great truck, especially for the price I'm asking, and like 15 people already want to buy it. And I tell them, I'm like, hold on, let me tell you what's wrong with it before you sit here and buy this truck. So I told them, hey, wait for the video. As soon as this video goes live, as soon as I tell you what's wrong with it, show you everything, then make a determination, and we can go from there. Because I don't want anybody to say, oh, I didn't know this was going on with it. And I've talked to both buyers of the silver truck and the P-Pump truck for quite a while, actually. I've talked to both of them and told them everything about the trucks, everything they need to know. We got everything figured out. And I think that they will be very, very happy with their new trucks. So, with that said, I think that was the gist of everything. I will be making videos of both these trucks being picked up. The guy from Texas, I think, is going to bring a trailer and come pick up the P-Pump truck. And the guy, like I said, in California is going to have a company come pick this truck up and ship it to California. If this is catching you off guard, watch my last 2 videos. This is to move the channel forward, not backwards. There's going to be a lot more exciting content. Like I've said, the gist of this whole change is going on is because I can't make content on 2nd gens for 3 years. I've been doing it 2 years. I'm kind of getting bored of it. I don't want to be making videos on something that I'm not extremely interested in at the moment. I will always love these trucks. That'll never change. But my interest in upgrading them, I'm just not as excited as I used to be on the 2nd gen trucks. And I don't want you guys to be watching videos, and I haven't been making them. As you've seen over the last month, I haven't been making any on these trucks because I'm just not as excited as I used to be. So I'll never be the YouTuber to just post a video to post a video. That's not me, that's not my character. So we're gonna move into more exciting stuff for the channel. I hope you guys are excited as I am. So let's pull the 1st gen in. Boys, here she is in all her glory. Gotta love 1st gen. First of all, before we talk about this 1st gen, I just want to express to you guys how grateful I am for all the support over the last couple of years, even getting me to this point where I'm able to sell these trucks as cheap as I am is just awesome. And having the opportunity to bring you guys along for the ride, and it's something that I really haven't talked about in quite some time, and I'm really passionate about. So thank you for everyone who supported the videos. I know a lot of guys that are still supporting to this day were the same ones that are watching me change out headlights and taillights on the 2nd gen, the original stuff. So thank you guys so much. for getting me to this point where I can have such beautiful trucks that are now going to go to new, what I believe to be very good owners, and I think they'll be in good hands. So with that said, let's talk about old reliable that won't stop kicking, the first gen. So there's so much to talk about, and we're going to talk about a lot of it in this video. So if you're not interested in the first gen, this might not be the video for you, because we're going to dive right into it. So let's start with the interior. How's the interior look? And of course, this freaking door is locked. We'll go to the other side. By the way, power windows, power locks, 1993 D350 two-wheel drive, 12 valve Cummins. $4,500 asking price, just like the second gen, and just like the guy did. You know, some people may want to pay up to secure it. That's fine. If you want to pay up to secure it, there's like 15 people I already know want to bring a trailer tomorrow. That's fine. But if not, hey, I'll sell for $4,500 to the first person to get here with $4,500. So let's talk about the interior. Now that you guys know, hey, it's two-wheel drive, it's 12 valve, and there's been constant motorcycles. Jesus Christ, man. Nothing wrong with motorcycles. Love them. They do great stuff with charity, but God, they pass my house all freaking day, and they're loud as hell. Let's talk about the interior. It does have the captain chairs, and I'll show you the door panels. Door panels look good. No crazy stains or anything like that. That's water. Like I said, it's been raining and my feet were wet. No stains, just needs to be vacuumed. Does have a little rip right there, but captain chairs are in great shape. The passenger side one doesn't have a rip. It actually looks very, very good. Of course, these chairs laid down. Power windows and power locks that all work. AC does... Oh, I was going to convert the AC. And by the way, it'll come with all the bed bolts and everything, and the bed will come with it. I know you guys are probably freaking out. The bed will come with it. The truck is being sold as is, though. So the bed bolts and all that stuff will be coming with it. The fenders could be in better shape. The fiberglass needs to be worked on. So if anybody does fiberglass work, maybe they can check this out. But a little bit, the truck needs to be painted, and actually it could be clear coated, and this actually would look really, really good clear coated. That was actually my plan with this truck. Either that or I was going to paint it black. Of course, it's got rainwater in the bed right now, but the bed does have a nice new bed liner on it. And the fender on this side is in a little bit worse shape. So like I said, if you do fiberglass work, might be something you'd be interested in, maybe fixing up. But yeah, that is what the bed looks like, and the bed will come with it. Of course, it does have a gooseneck hookup that is currently under the truck, and it does have a tailgate under the truck as well. So gooseneck ball hookup is right there. That's all in good shape, and I not powder coated, but bed linered it in the same stuff as the bed, and it all looks really, really good. So let's talk more about the truck. It does have chassis saver all over the frame. Bilstein 5100, or actually Bilstein 5600s, I believe those are. Don't quote me on it, but those are the heavy duty shocks made for dualies. It has a 4-inch straight pipe from Diamond Eye. The frame has been chassis savered, so the frame looks really, really good. The taillights are just mounted up right here just for, you know, so I could drive. By the way, I daily drove this truck for 3 weeks while that silver truck was being painted, because remember, I didn't have the P-pump truck when that silver truck went to paint booth. So what did I daily? I dailied this thing. The starter went bad when I was dailying it, but thank God it went bad like the last day I was supposed to be dailying it, so I got lucky. It doesn't have a third brake light. Those things are like 20 bucks on LMC. Everything you get for this truck can pretty much be on LMC. I've been covering up the air dog just because it's been outside. I didn't want anything to get wet, but it does have an air dog 165. I think it's a 165. Let's see. Everything by the way, drums replaced, wheel seals replaced, all brake shoes, everything has been replaced back here. There's nothing that's brake wise or suspension wise is stock or not been replaced. All the axles have been cleaned out. Everything's been really, really meticulously gone through, and just really, I spent a lot of time in this truck, way more time in this truck than I have in any other truck. All the suspension up here, of course, it has a leveling kit on it, new Moog coils. I think they're 7226S's. Of course, it's got the same shocks it does in the back up front. These are brand new tires. Maybe have 50 miles on them. Didn't even drive this truck after it. By the way, brand new alignment. It has an alignment on these tires and with the new suspension. That's been raining so much, the humidity is messing with the camera big time. But see all new bushings down here, all new ball joints, all new wheel seals, wheel hubs, wheel everything. Everything's been replaced. Coils, you name it, it's been replaced. It's all shiny stuff. This truck, you don't even have to hold the steering wheel. It'll steer straight down the road, no problem. So suspension, steerings, brakes, don't worry about it. From rotors to brake pads to calipers, all been replaced. Safety is utmost concern to me, and yeah, this thing has been very well taken care of. Front windshield tints got brand new 5% all the way around, with the front windshield being 35%. All the cab lights work. Sometimes that one over there, the second one, sometimes will flicker a little bit, but it most of the time works. The grill does have a crack in it up here. Crack there, but for the most part, it's pretty good. Brand new headlights. This does have a little bit of condensation in it, but you can get those for, I think they're 12 bucks or 14 bucks on LMC. These are actually from LMC. It's just I over tightened this one and cracked it. So, but haven't wanted to pay the 15 bucks for it. But these are new headlights. By the way, this box is filled with spare parts. Every single sensor, every single bolt, anything you can think of that I've taken off this first gen that I think I would ever need, from the trailer wiring harness to, I mean, just everything is in that box. So when this thing was taken apart, everything that you may think you will need down the road is in that box. So this thing has been torn apart, everything's been replaced, and it's just a steal of a deal. So this grommet has been replaced, the fuel tube grommet, and the tank has of course been, everything's been power washed, cleaned, really good. Let's see, I know I'm missing stuff, but let's go ahead and you guys see the interior. This thing is super clean. So let's see, this is a throttle position sensor potentiometer where you can adjust where it goes into overdrive. That all works. You got your ISPRO RPM gauge where you can see where your RPMs are at. You got your turbo boost, your EGTs, and your fuel pressure. Of course, you got your lights, everything down here. A couple wires from the original owner that I just haven't tucked up. This side is clean, the dash is clean, it's spotless, nothing's wrong with it. Headliner looks great. Really nothing going on crazy with the headliner. I got that window rolled down over there just so you guys can get a little bit more light in here. If you guys can see a little bit better. The chair on this side, these chairs are so comfortable. They're like loud. They're like sofas. Like, no kidding. If you guys have never sat in captain chairs in a first gen, you haven't lived yet. It doesn't have the middle piece to the sliding back windows. Surprisingly, doesn't really get water in here though. That's just something I've never been able to find online, but I've never went to a junkyard. But the carpet all looks really good back here. The dash lights is all LEDs, so you don't have that incandescent problem where you can't see what miles per hour you're going at night, because these first gens are really dim. The dimmer works with them. They're dimming LEDs, so you can dim the LEDs or brighten them, like damn near blind you at night. So I usually just have them about halfway, but they work really good, and they're the same color. I put the same color in this RPM gauge as the odometer, and they're the same color, just that green. They all match, so it's very clean in here at night. All the dash works. The heater core is a brand new heater core, but it was leaking into the carpet, so I did like the original owner did, and I'll show you when we pop the hood. I rerouted it so it's just bypassing the heater core because I don't want it leaking inside the cap. I don't know what's going on with it. Thought it was the heater core that was broke, so I replaced the heater core, but that ends up not being the issue. Of course, you got overdrive, cargo light, radio. The radio did work, but I don't think I've used it in quite some time. So yeah, glove box works with the key. Nothing crazy going on with that. This thing is a clean ass first gen, dude. I'm gonna tell you that. I'll tell you that much right now. Latch works, e-brake works, and it does have automatic mirrors. So yeah, that do work, surprisingly. So automatic mirrors. Pretty sure this thing has all the options possible back in the day, because even the dualies, most of them have the cab lights, but some of them don't. The hood has been clear coated, wet sanded, and clear coated. Obviously, the whole truck has paint issues. But bam, here is the brains of this whole entire operation. All right, boys, we're back. Got the underhood light. By the way, brand new firewall. I went as far as replacing the firewall. Like, trust me, you guys are getting a good deal. All the grounds on the truck have been replaced. All the weak wiring have been replaced. Brand new red top battery. I even have an extra ground. This is the alternator battery, by the way. It is a one-wire alternator, and it is a Power Masters alternator. That's not a Reman. That's not a Chinese. That's a Power Masters $480, I believe, alternator. Gates belt, Gator Green heavy-duty belt. Gates tensioner. Gates water pump. Gates aftermarket thermostat has been replaced. Mishimoto coolant. Let's see. KDP has been done on this truck. The front main has been resealed after the KDP was installed. You got a Steed Speed T3 manifold. You got a PTP turbo blanket exhaust manifold cover. You got PTP downpipe wrap, which is all in great shape. Transmission fluid is AMSOIL. You got the bypass, Sinister diesel bypass, little silicone tube that I'm just using to bypass the heater core so it doesn't leak inside the cab. All this has been powder coated. All new valve cover seals. Let's see. By the way, turbo, custom built brand new turbo. It's a little bit bigger than an HX40. It's an HX35 body. But it is, God, I can't even remember the measurements on it. I've had so many turbos, but yeah, it's a little bit bigger than an HX40. Sounds great, pulls great, spools very, very fast, be perfect for towing. That's what it was made for. This thing was going to tow. This, by the way, and a lot of you OG guys are going to be like, what the hell? Why are you even selling this thing? What are you doing? And when I bought this truck, if you guys remember, I said this is not the forever first gen. I want to buy a four-wheel drive first gen, and that's still what I want to do. Buy a four-wheel drive dually first gen. That is the goals. So I don't want to spend any more time or money into this truck only because it's two-wheel drive. It would be a great tow rig for somebody that was staying on the highway, but I plan on taking this thing to off-road parks, and I don't want to get stuck because I get stuck all the time with my trailer, my 22-foot, when I've got it loaded down. With even the four-wheel drive, I have to pop it in four-wheel drive. Even the second gens, got to pop them in four-wheel drive sometimes. And I don't want to get stuck and look like an idiot with a two-wheel drive at an ATV park that I have to go through holes in order to get back to where I need to go. Master cylinder, brake booster, everything's been replaced. Nothing as far as brakes is the same or stock. This is the wire loom for the potentiometer you guys seen inside the cab. VE injection pump has been advanced in the timing. This is the air dog feeding the fuel to the injection pump. Block off plate, Chevy block off plate has been put down there where the old, you guys can see it right there, where the old lift pump was. So that's been deleted the proper way. That's what you guys want to see. What else? This is a really clean truck for what I am selling it at. That is for sure. Like I said, everything's been, even the fuel lines. Look at the fuel lines. These are powder coated gloss black. They haven't even been cleaned in a long time. The intake cover has been powder coated. This is all dirty, but as you can see, I can just wipe it down and look at you. Bam. Very, very, very nice looking powder coat on this truck. Like I said, all the fuel lines. This needs to be powder coated, but the alternator bracket was powder coated. It looks good. The top of the master cylinder has been powder coated. It looks great. The bad, I think that we've looked over all the good. Let's talk about, not necessarily the bad, but let's talk about what needs to be fixed on this thing, because there is a couple things that need to be fixed, and I think I mostly went over everything with it. I don't know if I mentioned it. The truck has 333,000 miles. I think we can start getting into things that need to be fixed with it. So, as you guys can see, the truck does run good, enough to at least get on a trailer or take it up and down the road every once in a while. But the VE injection pump needs to be resealed. Now this thing, if you know what you're doing, can take you about an hour, maybe 2 hours, to reseal it, throw it back in the truck, and be on the road. That is what this thing needs. It needs to be resealed. Doesn't need to be, I mean, while you have it out, you may want to rebuild it, but that's all it needs to get you where you're going and be almost a daily driver at that point. It needs to be resealed. Another thing is the retainer nuts. These things down here, bam, right under where pretty much where the injectors go. The injector retainer nuts right there. You guys know how they have that plastic O-ring around it. It's not rubber, it's like a plastic almost. It needs new retainer nuts. And I think those are like $20 to maybe $50 or something like that for a pack of Mopar retainer nuts that come with the new seals, because they're bubbling up at the seals on pretty much every injector, only because they kind of dry rotted. It's just, you know, 50 bucks or whatever in 5 minutes, you know, maybe 30 minutes of your time. Another thing is injector 6. You guys know, if you guys watched the video of this thing starting up a while back, injector after the brand, by the way, it's got 7x11 sack injectors on it. You know, pretty expensive injectors, probably maybe 5 miles on them. That is only because whenever I installed the Air Dog, it was from Air Dog, it was turned up a little bit too much, and it blew the seal on the injection pump on the very first startup. The seal was fine on the injection pump. The injection pump was great. Put the Air Dog on there. Not Air Dog's fault. You know, I checked my fuel pressure. It was reading right below it, but it still blew the injection. By the way, this thing maxes out at like 12, 13 PSI. You really don't want to go over it. It was reading like 11 or 12. I figured, you know what, before I adjust the Air Dog, which I can, I just wanted to go ahead and see the truck would start, and if I could get it primed, you know, bleeding the lines and everything, and it ended up blowing the seal. So injector 6, brand new injectors. Injector 6 needs to be cleaned out. The injector hole needs to be cleaned out because it's dirty. It was spitting up. It's got debris in it or something. It was spitting up fuel. So that is something you want to look into for sure. You can even see where it was kind of spitting up a little bit of, I don't know if that's fuel or water. It's been raining, and I think that's water because it's everywhere. Whenever I lifted up the hood, it's been raining all day. I think it dripped on the back valve cover, but there's definitely probably a little bit of fuel, you know, particles or something over in that area, only because, you know, it's spitting up a little bit. So that's something you definitely need to look into, cleaning out that injector hole, resealing the V injection pump, and getting new retainer nuts for the injectors. God honest truth, that is all that I know that is wrong with this truck, and this thing needs a good home. So if you're interested, email me. My email will be below, or DM me on Instagram. That's probably your best way to get in contact with me, at Paradox, located near Dothan, Alabama. I suggest you bring a trailer. Don't risk driving this thing home. And you know, it's leaking a little bit of fuel out of that VE injection pump, you know, so I suggest trailer it, but she needs to go to a good home. 4,500 bucks is the cheapest I'd sell it for if somebody wants to pay up just to secure it, because I know these things can go for a pretty penny in this kind of shape in other parts of the country. When I say pretty penny, I just mean a little bit more than 4,500. I'm not meaning like 10 grand or anything. So yeah, if you're interested, this thing has so many parts on it. You could literally, I don't know, freaking know. If you say you have a second gen and you want a steed speed manifold and a new turbo and a PTP turbo blanket, buy this freaking truck, throw stock stuff back on it, and take this setup and put it on your second gen. You could literally, or maybe your second gen needs an alternator. You can part this thing out. I don't necessarily suggest it, only because I want to see this thing in its prime and in glory. By the way, it will come with that pusher intake. I don't know if I mentioned that, but it will come with that. I just had it off for now, but I will be putting that back on. Yeah, everything from differential fluid to tranny fluid to oil, of course, all that's been replaced. Of course, brake fluid was replaced, the master cylinder was replaced, and all the calipers. But yeah, I think that's going to be it, guys. If you're interested in it, let me know. Give you one last look at this side of the interior. Bam, of course, it's got the power over here and it all works. Of course, you got your windows that work. All your window seals are in pretty good shape. You can see this side of the interior. Remove these papers so you guys can see there's no funny business going on with me trying to hide any stains or anything. See the captain chairs. This armrest does need to be reupholstered. That armrest right there needs to be reupholstered. But I must say, boys, I'll see if I can get two hands and lift this thing up so you guys can actually This seat kind of folds up like this, but you guys can see the back carpet a little bit better now. I vacuumed back there so you can kind of see the vacuum lines, but she is a good truck. Oh, by the way, let me do that one more time. By the way, she does have chairs back here, boys. If you guys didn't know, first gens have chairs back here. They fold out, and people can sit back here, and they even have seat belts. So, if you're a family of 4, your kids are old enough to ride safely back here, it does have seat belts, and that's on both sides. So, and I know the camera quality is terrible in there, but you guys can see the seats on either side. Those work. And these lock into place and are very, very comfortable. Very, very comfortable. Brand new rear view mirror. That's a new mirror on there. But yeah, tons and tons of money in those gauges, and they're already installed, so you don't have to worry about that pain in the ass. So yeah, I know I've been all over the place, been talking for you guys. Been talking about this truck for probably longer than I talked about the other trucks. There's just more things going on with this truck. And don't say, Paradox, why are you selling a truck that's not perfectly good for somebody to daily? That's not what this truck is for. This truck is not meant to be sold for somebody to have a daily. This truck is meant to be sold to somebody that wants a project truck, wants to learn, wants to wrench a little bit on their own self. And this truck is not a daily. I would never sell somebody a daily truck that's not ready to go. And but what I'm saying is this truck is not meant to be a daily right now. It could eventually be, but Paradox isn't over here selling pieces of crap that aren't, you know, drivable, ready to go across country. I just want you guys to know that. It's a different situation selling this truck than it is selling those 2 trucks out there. This truck, me selling it, you know, doesn't necessarily have to be 100% ready to go right now. But with all that said, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thank you for making it all the way to the end. Drop a like if you enjoy the video, if you're excited for the future of the channel. I know I surely am. I got some exciting things in mind. So hope you're staying tuned for all that. Thank you for the support, and we'll see you in the next one. If you want it, come get it.